Hi everyone, welcome back to another weekend episode of Cook with Mary Sue. In fact, this is the first weekend of a brand new year, 2022. I hope everyone had a very nice, safe, fun New Year's weekend and a nice, enjoyable Christmas weekend last week. In fact, now that Christmas is behind us, we don't have to worry about it for another 357 days. Isn't that great? Before we begin, please hit the like and subscribe and share down at the bottom. There'll be links to my other channels, Brother Claude Reflects, this is Cooking with Mary Sue, Susie Q Knickknacks, and Garden in the Delta. And there'll be a link to my website that takes you directly to my new book. I had this published last year, also mentioned Miss Kitty and her Woodland Friends. The website is entitled animalsliftoffspirits.com. If you go to that, it tells you about the book, and it has a link right to Amazon. You can find my book on Amazon, eBay, Barnes & Noble, and iTunes. Okay, what we're going to do today, I'm going to make some nice fresh hot biscuits for supper, and I'm only using 2 ingredients. Yes, just 2. We're cutting this down as little as possible. Hey, we have snow out there. It started snowing a little while ago. Just a light little dust. It's really pretty. I may show you a picture at the end of the video. We started out with a little bit of sleet this morning, and it quickly turned to snow. I don't know how long it's going to keep snowing, but it is pretty out there. Too bad we didn't have that last weekend for Christmas. It would have been great to have a white Christmas. Okay, back to the biscuits. I'm starting out with 2 cups of all-purpose, this is self-rising. I almost forgot which one I'm using. This is self-rising flour. If you want to make this with all-purpose, you can. You just have to add a little bit of baking powder and salt, preferably kosher salt. But I'll put that down in the link below and in the description of the ingredients, how much to use for that. But like I said, I am using self-rising, 2 cups, and anywhere from 1 cup to 1.5 cup of this is heavy whipping cream. Heavy whipping cream. Now, by using heavy whipping cream, that cuts out the need to use any other type of fat. Like sometimes you might cut in cold butter or lard or shortening, oil, mayonnaise, all that stuff. You don't need that because this whipping cream, heavy whipping cream, has all the extra fat in it that you need to mix with this. Now, some people like to sift the flour and some don't. I've done it both ways. If you use sifted flour, it will help your biscuits come out much, much more softer. They'll rise better, and they'll just be softer, which who doesn't like a nice soft biscuit compared to a hard biscuit? When you sift it, that gets all the hard lumps out of it. It puts air into it, and it's really good to sift it for any type of baking things you want to bake, whether it's cake, cookies, biscuits, anything. So I am going to sift it this time. I have my little sifter here. If you don't have a sifter on hand, you can easily use just a little strainer, kitchen strainer. Doesn't hurt. That'll do just as well. But since I have a sifter, I'm going to go ahead and use it. Let me see. Yep, that's a whole 2 cups right there. Comes out really light, and you can also use a whisk to it. Put a whisk through it will help if you don't have a sifter. Either one. Yeah, that one took a few extra seconds right there. It just feels so much softer when you sift it. Now I'm going to make a little indent, like a little cave, a little hole down the middle there. Push it back. Just make a little indent right in the middle, kind of like a little the crater, volcano crater. I'm going to add most of this. I'll probably need all of it. Stir it in. You don't want this to be too soft. You don't want to get too dry. You have to get it just right. This is a very easy recipe for somebody that's new to making biscuits. You want to learn how. You want a simple, easy way to just get used to making them. And if you're a seasoned biscuit maker, this is still a good recipe if you just want to make it, cut down your ingredients and make it faster. Add the rest of that. There. I'm making these to go with supper tonight. I like to make homemade biscuits once in a while. I make them on of different ways. I don't always make them like this. I have another biscuit recipe that, no, two more on my channel here that I made over the last year. So there's not any one particular way to make biscuits. There's different ways of making biscuits. Leave my wax paper out of the way. I'm going to roll them out or put them on this wax paper to cut them. I'm not really going to roll them that much. They're going to be, I'll roll them out just a little bit with my hand, not with a roller, and cut it with a biscuit cutter. Get back over here. Okay. This needs a little bit more stirring up. It's not quite ready yet. I might need just a drop or two more milk. Not much, just a little bit. You can kind of feel when you're stirring it up if it's going to be a little bit too thick or too runny. I may have had just a teensy bit over 2 cups, which will make a difference here. Had a little bit too much flour, that means I'm going to need just a little dab more milk. Not much, just a little bit. That's about another tablespoon there. Get ready to put my wax paper. I'm using that wax paper instead. Sometimes I put them on the counter, but wax paper kind of protects your counter. But you don't ever want to cook on the wax paper. If you put these on a baking sheet, you can put them on parchment paper. You can cook in the oven with parchment paper, but not with wax paper. But wax paper is good to roll them on. That's just the right consistency. I can tell by squeezing them around. Okay, get my flour off. Now I'm going to put just a little bit of flour on my wax paper here. I have to be using just a Kroger brand of flour. My favorite that I do like White Lily when I have some. I just don't have it today. Now I have a big biscuit cutter. I have 3 sizes, small, medium, and large. I'm using the large today. If you don't have a biscuit cutter on hand, you can use just a glass. The rim of any type of glass. Just put the glass down in the flour to get the rim floured a little bit, and it will cut just as easy as a biscuit cutter will. Okay, I'm through with this. Put it behind me there. One of the most important things to remember about making biscuits is do not overwork the dough. That will make your biscuits come out too hard. They won't be as soft like you want them. So I'm just mashing this up just a little bit. I'm not going to knead it too much. Like I said, you don't want to overwork the dough. Now I'm ready to mash it out. I'm going to make these about a 1/2 inch thick. Anywhere from 1/2 inch to about 3/4 inch. But what am I going to put them in? Well, we'll find that out in just a few seconds. Let me get this ready here. Take my counter there, and I'll show you what we're going to do next here. I have been preheating my oven. I'm using cut the oven on 450. To cook these really takes about 12-15 minutes at the most, maybe 15. Put them on 450. I've been preheating my cast iron skillet. going to be actually the first time that I have cooked biscuits in a cast iron skillet. I usually put them on a baking sheet, but I wanted to try something different for a change. Okay. Let me get another thing here. Want to get some extra hot pads under this. Yeah. I don't want to mess up my cabinet here. And that's pretty hot. It's been in the oven for quite a while. There. That should be pretty good. And I'm going to put some butter flavored Pam in there. It has to not stick. I'm going to put a lot in there. If you have your biscuits touching each other when you put them in the skillet, the closer you go and they're touching, they're going to rise a little bit higher that way. When you cut these, you want to go straight down and back up. Don't twist. Now see there? Perfectly cut biscuit. Okay. These are going to be nice and thick and tall. Like I said, I want them touching each other. That makes the center a little softer and they rise taller that way. If you put them on a baking sheet, you can spread them out. And they spread out rounder, flatter, but now it's tall. I like really tall, thick biscuits that are soft inside, golden brown on the outside. Just mash this back together, but I don't want to overwork it. Push it out to about, it's about a 1/2 inch. 3, 4, 5. I have at least 6 there, and maybe just a little piece over. Now I like to use all my pieces of biscuit. When I get down to just a little bitty piece left, I'll still use it. Sometimes I roll it out into a funny little shape, or I'll twist it around like a little twist tie. Okay, I just do have 6 there, and just enough for a little bitty thing, whatever, little weird looking thing. I might make it into a biscuit. Sometimes I roll it out into a French twist. But I'm just going to make it into a funny little shape, just put it in there and see how it comes out. I like the little funny looking ones. They always taste best. I don't know why. Where is my, oh, here it is. Okay. Put these back over for about 15 minutes. You can see how they look there. Now I'll clean up my mess while those are cooking. And you can see we're back here. See there? They're nice and golden brown. They're not too brown, and they're a little past, they're not too light. They're just right, I think. And while they're hot, I just took them out a few seconds ago. While they're hot, I used to take a little bit of butter here. I just got a stick of cold butter. And I like to do this on top here. While they're hot, besides getting them a little bit of flavor, it helps the top from getting too hard while you're waiting to serve them to your family or guests or whoever you're going to serve them to. And if I'm making these for a later date, even later, I'll just, after they cool down and get room temperature, I'll put them in a baggie so they don't get too hard out in the air. But this will soften the top here. Put a little butter on top. There. You just see that butter melting right in. Okay. Alright. Let's see how they look. Now here's that funny little bitty one, that little funny piece I made. And it is hot. Oh, doesn't that look mouth-watering? That great big nice soft biscuit. And the inside is soft. Yeah, it's done, but it's soft. And the outside, just golden brown. Beautiful. Tear it apart here. Oh my goodness. I wish you could feel that. But you can feel how soft that is. It's done, but it's soft. It's not hard, it's not flaky, it's not crumbly. That is a good biscuit. In fact, I'm going to put a little bit of butter on the inside here. Man, it's nothing better than a hot biscuit with butter on it. My husband likes to put sometimes gravy on his biscuits or sugar-free jelly. I love biscuits with apple butter. Good old-fashioned apple butter. I go ahead and stop the video so I can finish eating my biscuits while it's hot. They didn't stick a bit because I did grease the skillet with that pan, butter pan. See, they didn't stick a bit. Well, since this was my first time cooking biscuits in a cast iron skillet and they came out perfect, I think I will always cook them in a cast iron skillet now. I had no idea they come out so perfect like this. Much better than putting them on a baking sheet. I put them on a baking sheet, they never rise that tall. It's about at least a 2-inch biscuit. It is beautiful. Okay. Now let's go see if it's still snowing outside. It's about stopped, but we're going to take a peek at what it looks like. Then we'll say we'll wrap this up for the day, and I'll see y'all next weekend, but hang on a few seconds. Well, it didn't snow quite as much as I thought it would. I wish it would snow more, but you can see we got a nice little dusting out there. We might get some more this weekend, tomorrow, tonight. We'll see. But cover the bushes nice. Oh well. That's all we get for now. I'm sure we'll have some more coming later. And this is just the beginning of winter. We still have January and February to go through. Anyway, I'm heading back to my hot biscuits while they're hot. Eat one. And I'll see y'all next weekend, or y'all see me next weekend. Happy New Year's, everyone, and happy cooking.